don't know if I explain that, please.
Yeah, that section of the second one that you are talking about, which was we have done it in order to take care of the two bills that were presented before the Senate. We have the Peace and Unity, we have the Peace Corps. So the two were presented before the Senate. Unfortunately, in the House, they have only one bill, that is a Peace Corps. They don't have the Unity in the House. Now, in order to accommodate the other one, that is the Unity and Peace Corps, we felt that it is important to insert that, to recommend that, so that the other group cannot deny them from being members of the Peace Corps.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. I'm along your Beno. Mr. President, still on page 2, I really don't understand, and I want an explanation on that. The comment that not in House or Res version and not in Senate version. So which version has been adopted then?
Is it clause 1 or clause 2? The marginal note. So now, Nafada was still at a loss because just as first appointer is against our rules to insert any version. But the problem you have now, that even if you withdraw it, that's still pending in the House. So how do you proceed from here?
Mr. President, is not something that is, to me anyway, as somebody who has worked on this bill, it's not like we are introducing something new. There is nothing new because in the Senate we were presented with two bills, and we were trying to see how the two organizations can be accommodated in the Peace Corps. We don't want a situation whereby...
No, what did you add now? Let us know what it is, because if you look at that, it says the House of Representatives version adopted with an amendment. What's the amendment? Page 3. Go to page 3. Clause 2 at page 3. The issue of headquarters. Yes, because it says the headquarters of the Peace Corps shall be located in the Federal Capital Territory, Abuja. Then it's not in the House, it's not at all in the Senate version at all. There's no such thing. Then in the House, they say the headquarters of the Peace Corps shall be located in the Federal Capital Territory and shall have offices in all the local government, all the state, local government areas and education institutions. Then you now add that shall have offices in all the states, local government areas and education institutions, which is contained in the House version. But in your marginal note, you now say House of Representatives version adopted with an amendment. So I would like to know what the amendment.
Sorry, sir, there was no amendment on that. It was a mistake from the Secretariat.
Okay. Ladan.
Thank you, Mr. President. My name is Joshua Lidani, representing Gombe South. On page 2, clause 37.
So is this one settled? This is settled. Okay. The one that Foster raised. So he said there's no amendment. Okay.
I don't understand this paragraph. It says clause 37G was adopted to read that groups, associations, and organizations that have similar objectives and have shown or demonstrated interest to be absorbed as members of the Nigeria Peace Corps shall be absorbed subject to the mandatory initial training orientation program as prescribed from time to time upon the commencement of this act. Is this part of the Senate version or is it part of the House version? But it's not there reflected in the table. Page 2. 37G is talking about something else in paragraph. Page 5, 37G is talking about something different.
No, he's talking about, Linda is talking about 37G.
Yes, but here it says 37G was adopted to read that groups, associations, and so on. But if you go to page 5, this 37G It's not talking about those groups and associations. So I really don't, if that can be clarified. I don't know if you understand me.
Gabriel.
Thank you very much, Excellency. My name is Ibrahim Gogo. I think, sir, if we look at 3 subsection B, which is on page 2, they say clauses 1B, part 8, and then 37 subsection G in the House of Representatives. So it means it's in the budget. No, but isn't that in the House of Representatives budget? Yeah, 37 G. So that is why what we should find out for him is it part of resolution in the House of Rep, or you are just introducing it? Because that's the question we should know. So, not for that.
Yeah, thank you, Mr. President. I earlier explained this 37G. Maybe my colleague from Gombe, who is now on the other side, is trying to, he will not tell you.
No, even the law on this side.
I said, sir, what I said, sir, that this particular section, that is 37G, it was not in our version. It was not in our version. But because the House, they don't have the other version, that is why they came with this. They came with this. They know that we have this. We have the unity, they don't have the unity. So they came with this one.
Do they have it in their resolution?
It's in their resolution. So we decided to adopt it.
Okay.
The reason why it is not in their resolution as in table like this is because in the House they don't have it as a bill, but they were contacted by the organization. So they came with it like this. They came to the House, to the Senate, that this is what they have resolved, if we can agree. So and we have agreed.
So what you're saying is that this law, now this 37 dissolves all other, whether this called
yes.
national unity and everything, they've all been dissolved.
They have been formed, they have collapsed to Nigerian Peace Corps.
Honorable Leader, are you satisfied now?
Mr. President, distinguished colleagues, we have 2 versions of this paper before us. I've looked at the one that distinguished Senator Segibo has and my own. They are totally different. Like even on that page 2, you 1B was an amendment deleting an education institution or something. Here in the one he has, there is no such thing. We can show it to you now. There is none. So what we have here, so what we actually have, we have 2 versions of this. I think maybe the Senate leader will lead us. I would suggest.
While you are showing the Tonafada the 2 versions, Mao.
Mr. President, distinguished Senator Mao, what I'm saying is that I think that if we look at page 2, that 3.0 conference committee actions, we should stop at B. If we have taken A, which says clauses 2, 11, 6, 16B, 241, 28 in Senate version were adopted. Then we go to clauses 1B, parts 8, 37G in the House of Representatives were adopted. I don't think that the other statement should come because it's more confusing. Because that statement, which is the one Ledani is referring to. No, what I'm saying is that it has not amending, but I mean it has even no relationship with anything. That's what I'm saying. I'm not talking of amendment, but what I'm saying is like something that came from nowhere because it has no relationship anywhere. You can't find it anywhere, but you can find A and B. That's all I'm saying. Maybe if you are saying you can't find that in this document at all. You can't find it. And from what he's saying that 37G dissolves every other Peace Corps that was in existence before the enactment of this. So whether it's Nigerian Union Peace Corps or Peace Corps will no more exist at the enactment of when this bill becomes an act.
Senator Sabi. Senator Sabi.
Yes, sir.
Thank you, Mr. President. Senator Aliu Sabi Abdullahi. I think the issue here is there was Nigerian Peace Corps bill in the House. There was Nigerian Peace Corps bill in the Senate. Then additionally, there was the Nigeria Unity and Peace Corps. The issue is this. We need to clarify. What did we approve or what did we pass as Senate? It's the Nigerian Peace Corps. So the point is this. If the intendment is to allow the Nigerian Unity and Peace Corps to benefit from the the Nigerian Peace Corps bill, then let us be very clear. Because the 1G, that particular clause, 37G, is appearing, like Mao said, to have no link with the other issues. And I think it is that particular clause that is now giving the provision for the Nigeria Unity and Peace Corps to now be absorbed into this particular bill that is being passed.
Well, Polka.
Yes, Mr. President, sir. Senator Polka. I think there is a lot of confusion. It's always very difficult to question the conference committee report. But all the same, I think I will advise my brother that we should go back and step down this report for now. Let us look at this report side by side with what we pass. Looking at the 37G, from his own explanation, what I gathered is that this is not even in the bill passed by the House, so to say. And it's not reflected in the bill passed by the Senate. And if this thing is thrown into a conference committee from nowhere, it will actually result in a problem when the bill will eventually be passed. So my position is that let the committee go back and sit. Conference committee is difficult for us to remove anything. But under the present scenario, there is no way we can consider this conference committee under this type of mode. We may pass this conference committee blindly. And
State Leader, what do we do? State Leader. Let's hear from State Leader. He's directing the proceedings.
Well, Mr. President, distinguished colleagues, let me commend our committee for putting a hard work into producing this report. But personally, I can see some discrepancies. And this is one Peace Corps that we need to have without any problem, because we know what has happened recently. So I would suggest, Mr. President, that our committee withdraws this report and put a little bit of more work and then bring it back. Because like the Senate Minority Leader raised the issue, here are two versions, even though it's supposed to be the same report. And one is talking of amendment, the other one is saying the House of Reps position was adopted. So I think there are some mix-ups and maybe discrepancies, which I think we can better deal with them when the report is withdrawn.
I think that should be a better way to go. Senator Father, what do you think?
Well, Mr. President, actually, you know, as a ranking senator, that it is very difficult now to change anything from this report, even though the minority leader is showing me two reports. I don't know from where the other one came from. It was leaked maybe into the chambers, but the majority of us, we have only one version of the report. So that issue of having two reports, as far as I am concerned, that is not an issue to me, because I have an official report that I presented, and I am now defending the official report that I represented. So any other report brought into the chambers is not my own report, and the person who brought the report maybe should go and look for the source of that report. That is number one. Number two, Mr. President, I agree with you that I will go and look at maybe it is not from I believe it's not from the harmonized version, but it's from the arrangement of the sections and the subsections. That one can be looked at, and we will come back with a better and more clearer version of the report. For that, I move that we step down this report to another legislative day. I so move.
Okay, those in support that the committee be given more time to go and tidy up the report, say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Before I call the Senate leader, just to announce the delegation to Ekiti. It will be led by Senator Alas Ojora. Others are Senator Moa Unhabongwa, Senator Foster Ogola, Senator Suleiman Hunkwi, Senator Sani Mustafa, and Senator Mohammed Hassan. Senate leader.
Mr. President, very distinguished colleagues.
Point of order, Senator Anyanwu.
Mr. President, very distinguished colleagues, my name is Senator Sam Anyanwu. I represent Imo East, Imo State. I want to invoke Order 43, Mr. President. Order 43 says, if you allow me, I'll read. By the indulgence of the Senate and the leave of the President of the Senate, a senator may make a personal explanation, although there be no question before the Senate, but no controversial matter be brought forward, nor debate arise from the explanation. Mr. President, I want to say this, Mr. President. Every day we come for this chamber, members lay petitions. And my committee members, we take our time to go through these petitions. Sometimes we stay up to 9 p.m. here. And it takes us time to write these reports. And it's very unfortunate, Mr. President, that after laying these petitions, it takes this chamber a lot of time. Some of the reports have been here since 2015, 2016. And these petitions came from our constituents. And every day, the senators will keep asking us, how far is our report, how is our petition, and all that. I think that it's important, Mr. President. Like today, we have over 6 petitions, reports to be considered. I think it's important we must dedicate a day. As I speak to you, Mr. President, we have up to 40 reports already laid.
Quorum. The Senate leader is ready to proceed. I'm here presiding. I can stay at 6 p.m. if we have the number. So that's the issue. But before I rule on your point of order, can you read the last paragraph, the last sentence in that your order? The last sentence.
Mr. President, the terms of the proposed statement shall be submitted in detail to Mr. President of Senate when they leave to make it a sort.
I'm sure you know you didn't discuss this matter with me. Okay. So we appeal that please let us try as much as possible to endure and see how we can deal with these reports, please. Today is Thursday, so it will be difficult to appeal to everybody to stay. But I think by next week, let's move as fast as we can and take more reports and second reading. State leader.
Thank you very much, Mr. President. I really sympathize with my colleague there, Chairman, Public Petitions. we suffered the same thing in the 6th and the 7th Senate in Public Accounts Committee. But I'm sure we'll do better, probably from next week. Mr. President, distinguished colleagues, so many of our colleagues have been assigned to go to various parts of Nigeria to represent the Senate. Some are undertaking their budgetary functions. I believe we have done quite a lot today. And in order to allow those who are traveling by air, who must go to Kaduna by road, I move that we step down all the other items on the order paper till another legislative day.
Mr. President, distinguished colleagues, I rise to second the motion moved by the leader that in view of the mood of the Senate, and particularly because of the exigency of the activities of our colleagues, some of whom are even in public sitting right now, with the FCT committee, and some who travel with Mr. President, the Senate President of Morocco, and others who have a lot of oversight functions across Nigeria, that we have done so much today that we do suspend the other items on the other paper to another legislative date. I so second.
Dear colleagues, those in support of the motion say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. The leader.
Mr. President, having concluded today's proceedings on the order paper, I hereby move that the Senate do adjourn till Tuesday, 21st March 2017 at 10 a.m. prompt.
Mr. President, distinguished colleagues, I rise to second the motion that the Senate do adjourn to Tuesday next week at 10 a.m. I so second.
Dear colleagues, those in support of the motion that Senate do adjourn to Tuesday, the 21st day of March 2017 at 10 a.m. prompt, say aye. Those against say nay. The ayes have it. Senate is accordingly adjourned.